Charmaine, and my guest today is a proven success strategist who uses her life, relationship, and career coaching skills to help celebrities, athletes, business professionals, and everyday people get behind the driver's seat of their own lives. I want you to help me welcome to the show Dr. Nicole LeBeach. Welcome.
Thank you, Lady Charmaine. It's so good to be here.
Well, I'm so glad to have you on the show. And I was just really excited because you're one of the first titles that I've heard of. I love the title Success Strategist because we know in life, everybody wants success. We all desire to have success. But can you tell us before we get started, what is a success strategist?
Well, basically what I do is I use a lot of action-oriented techniques to help people achieve the goals that they want, whether that's in business or in personal relationships. That whole concept of, getting behind the driver's seat of your life and your business and being accountable to the goals that you set so that you can accomplish them at a higher level is really what I do. So I help people turn around businesses that sometimes are having challenges, help them turn around relationships that they're really invested in and they want those relationships to be for the long term. And that can go anywhere from pastors to people that are in sports, arenas and things of that nature. So the gamut really in helping them be successful is what I do.
Now, why not call yourself a life coach? Because we know that's a very popular term today. Why not just a life coach instead of a success strategist?
Because my training and experience has been so extensive, really in life coaching, you're helping people achieve goals in their lives. A lot of what I do goes a little bit further outside of that realm because I do work with people in leadership and their leadership development and trying to get teams to accomplish the goals that they want and really helping them to boost the bottom line. So it's that hybrid between business, leadership development, and also working in the life and relationship space. So the box of life coaching, was just a little bit too small for some of the things that I actually do.
Because I know Chaka Khan spoke very highly of you, and you were a blessing to her to really help her find who she was. Now, how did she find you?
Well, a lot of times people find me through referrals, which is really interesting. It's such a blessing to be able to do work and, for people to connect with it from a space of results that other people have gotten really good results and, they talk about it. So what I do is very confidential, but, like they say, you plant good seeds and you get to reap the reward of those seeds because people, when they feel like they're safe and they're in a trusted space where they can get the results that they're looking for, naturally, they then tell people about it. So a lot of what I do comes from referrals.
Now, out of all the businesses out there, Dr. Nicole, why did you choose to get into this particular business?
I think I kind of got it honest to be real about it. My mother was a cosmetologist for over 40 years, so she had her own business. And I saw a lot of people come into her beauty salon and they would talk about what was going on in their lives and the businesses that they wanted to start and some of the challenges that they were having in relationships and things like that. And just watching her over the years really helped to inspire people to reach outside of their comfort zones and to stretch towards what they wanted. It really impacted me. So, it kind of, I guess the initial seed came naturally from just my upbringing, but I really was born to do this. I feel like I'm in a purpose-driven space with championing the goals that people have and, advocating for their success.
Now, what does success look like? Because we all want it. We want success, and no matter what it is that we're doing. But can you really define success for us so we can know what that is? And will people know when they've reached it?
I think success is really about growth, and it's something that's different for every person. But it's about, do you feel like you're in a space where the vision that you have for your life is being manifested? And is it really, for me, I talk to clients a lot about whether it's aligned with their God-given purpose. Do they feel like their gifts are really being utilized in a way that serves other people and makes the world better to live in? Is it giving them the opportunity to cultivate their craft and to affect other people in a positive way? Because that's usually the space where you find that there is a mirroring between having, being paid a lot for what you do, but it's a mirroring of making sure that your time is being spent in a way where you feel like you really are moving on a purpose-driven track, because it's not all about money and it's not about status. It's not about things like that. It's really about that internal piece of feeling like this is what I was born to do, and there's a flow when I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. So for a lot of people, that's what they've defined as success, and I agree with them.
Now, you also wrote a book, and I love the title, A Woman's True Purpose. Can you share with us about the book, and also what is a woman's true purpose? Can you share that with us?
The book was really written out of me personally kind of hitting my head up against the wall a couple of times, with certain concepts like superwomanhood and, what was my own personal purpose, and trying to deal with issues of forgiveness and things like that. So the more I started to sort through some of those issues and started helping women with some of those things, the more I felt led to write about it and try to see if I could help them get on a similar journey. For me, a woman's true purpose is to live like she matters. Because the minute she connects with that personal conversation with God, that she really does matter, and she's alive for a reason, and she has something to offer the world, then we start to really see the best in her.
That is really, really good. Where can people get that book?
They can get it on Amazon, some of their local bookstores. They can order it from our website, www.askdrnicole.com. But, yeah, absolutely, Barnes & Noble, bookstores, and also their local Amazon online will definitely offer the opportunity for them to purchase it.
Okay. Now, I want to get back to the area of success. What are some of the tips you can give people who have failed in areas, but they're still looking for success in that area?
It's funny. People ask me that all the time. And one of the first things that I say, if you feel like you failed, because that's a big issue for me, because I don't really consider failure to be a real concept. Mm-hmm. I think you try at something and maybe you didn't meet the goal that you were shooting for, but to say that you failed really minimizes the fact that you've given an effort towards moving to another space or moving to another level in an attempt to achieve something. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that I say to them, are you on the right track? Because what I find is a lot of times people struggle with failure and not meeting the goals that they've set because they're running somebody else's race. Mm-hmm. So I say to them, beyond what people are telling you should do, beyond what seems like it's the perfect fit because it's an opportunity that may have fallen in your lap, is this really the race that you're supposed to run? How do you feel when you're doing it? How are your gifts being utilized? How are your talents being utilized? Do you feel like, you're aligned with purpose when you're in it, when you're doing it? Are people being positively affected by the energy that you're giving? Because when all of those things are aligned, then it becomes easier to say, okay, then is there a need to look at your approach? If you're on the right track, but you're not quite getting the result that you want, let's look at the approach that you're taking and whether there needs to be some tweaks in that, whether some of the milestones that you had set were realistic or unrealistic, and then really what's the vision? At the end of the day, what are you really trying to achieve as a vision, and how do we get there walking backwards, so to speak? So if your vision is to get 5 miles down the road, what does it look like when we look from 5 miles backwards. What kinds of things does it look like we need to do to get us to the point where you've achieved that goal? And how have other people done it? Because a lot of times it's really not about inventing a new wheel. It's about looking at how other people have attempted what you're trying to be successful at and seeing how your journey and the actions that you need to exhibit might need to be a little different or similar to make it happen.
Those were great tips. I was listening. I wish I could have took notes. I'm going to have to go back and listen to my own interview to take some notes, right? That was great because I was just talking to a gentleman yesterday and you said some of the things that I had just said to him on yesterday. And so I feel like I kind of led him in the right direction because you just repeated some of those things. If people wanted to work with you, do you Skype with them? Because say like this, you know, they might say, I really need some help in this area of success and I really want to talk with her. How do they have to come to your office? Do you do Skypes, FaceTime?
You know, the whole coaching realm has become very virtual. There are definitely a lot of clients that I see face-to-face, depending on what their situation and dynamic calls for. But if they come to the website, www.askdrnicole.com, they can reach out. And what I like to say to people is, I think fit is extremely important. Anytime that you connect with a coach, you have to feel like they can help you win at the goal. If I feel like I can help you win and you feel like I can help you win, then it's a good fit. If that's not the case, then there are other people out there that may connect with your goal quite easily and say, you know what, I think I'm the right advocate and the right accountability partner for you to get this done. So they just need to reach out and tell us what they're looking for, and then we can make a good determination from there whether it's the right fit in chemistry.
Okay, because for those who may not know, you were also on R&B Divas on season 1. You've been on Excel on the Aspire Network. You've also been on Steve Harvey, so you definitely have a proven track record to be able to help people and give great advice. So you're definitely a go-to person. And like I said, even Chaka Khan even spoke highly of you about the work that you've done in her life. So that's great, and I'm glad you mentioned about being a good fit because that's true. You know, you're hoping that person and whoever coaches you can get you to where you feel you need to be or want to go.
Absolutely, because, you know, it's not about judging the goal, because some people say, well, how do I know if my goal is good, you know, or if it's a good goal for a coach? It's not about judging the goal. It really, truly is about chemistry and fit, because your coach has to align with what you're trying to do, and they have to be able to help you strategize it, have to be able to help you figure out what are going to be some of the easiest ways and the path of least resistance, so to speak, to get to where you're trying to go. So once you have that person that really buys into what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it, then you're really off to a running start.
Well, it was truly a pleasure to have you on the show. You gave some great tips, and I'm sure that if people pick up your book, A Woman's True Purpose, they'll get some more wonderful tips from you to really find out a true purpose and even actually help you try to get there a little bit. So if people want to find you again, give us the website and also your social media sites.
It's www.askdrnicole.com. And definitely I would love for your listeners to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, friend me at Ask Dr. Nicole. And this was really a lot of fun, Lady Charmaine. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to your listeners.
Oh, you are so welcome. I look forward to having you back on the show.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thank you.